Hey, Ben here with H90 Productions, and it is time for another update with everything that is happening in the world of H90, which right now is our audio drama series Mango. I'm going to try something a little different with this episode, and maybe with these moving forward, I'm going to do my best to keep these updates under 10 minutes. So the clock is ticking. I have it going right here, and I'm going to do my best. I just felt like in these past few episodes, I ramble a little bit. So going to try to stay on point here. And this is meant to be, pretty much just updates and everything that's happening with what I'm producing and what I'm working on. And that is the Mango audio drama series. So I'm going to talk about Mango Dead Serious first, which is Mango 1. And then I will give you some updates on Mango 2, which doesn't have, it has a title, but I haven't released the title just yet. That's going to be happening in July, so stay tuned. But have some exciting things fun things to share about Mango 1 first. So the first thing I want to talk about with Mango 1 is the making of series. So this series is about the making of Mango Dead Serious, and it features footage that I captured in real time while I wrote, produced, directed, and edited and sound designed Mango Dead Serious. And I released a teaser. I think it was 2 weeks ago I released the teaser. And then this past week, just 2 days ago, I released the first video in the series, which is about writing. And yes, a video about writing is probably, I don't know if that's unusual, but I basically just, in moments where I felt like I had something to say, I pulled out my phone and talked about what was going on in that moment. So most of that is kind of the bulk of that video features footage from 2022. I started writing it in 2021. But the bulk of it happened in 2022. And the reason for that is I did a little test after I wrote the first act. I'm like, okay, is this something I can do? I've never produced an audio drama, so I wanted to test it out. And I did. I recorded it, and I produced a little test, recorded, cast, worked with actors, and put together a basically test, which was the first act for Mango 1. And I felt like it worked. So I set out on a mission to complete the script. And that's what this first video is all about. So check that out. Ooh, 3 minutes in already. This is like why I have why I need to put a cap on my podcast here. So that making of series is starting to move forward. Very excited about that because we're going to get in. The next video is going to be about how I cast Dr. Fox and actor Alexander Cruz's role in that. And we'll just roll forward. It's different than the Inside Mango Dead Serious series, which is interviews with everyone, myself and members of the cast, because that's kind of like more reflective. Making of is like the actual making of. Okay. Moving forward, the next fun thing I wanted to share about Mango Dead Serious is I submitted Mango Dead Serious, the idea, to a contest. And the contest is being held by Brass Knuckle Films, which is a label owned by Robert Rodriguez and his team. And as an investor, H90 Productions is an investor now in this company. It's not anything major, but it's enough of an investment, small investment, to be able to not only submit an idea to their Best Idea Wins contest, but this also kind of allows me to skip the first round and submit a video. That's probably drilling a little too deep for the time I have, but I just wanted to share a little bit more about Brass Knuckle Films, and I'm going to read it right off the info online here. Brass Knuckle Films is a new action movie label created by Robert Rodriguez that invites fans to invest and collaborate on the development of new action films. So you can invest in these films that he's going to be making. And just for context, Robert Rodriguez, I'm a big fan of Robert Rodriguez. His book, Rebel Without a Crew, was something I read very early on in my filmmaking career, and it has stuck with me to this day. It drives everything I want to do creatively, the DIY ethos, the not asking permission, just going out and doing it. And the moment you start doing it, you are a filmmaker. I really bought into that, and I believe that, and hopefully you can tell just by looking at this little studio I have in my 1-bedroom apartment that that is something I believe in truly and fully, and that is very much the ethos of H90 Productions. That's what H90 means, actually. It's a sports term, baseball term that means give it all you got, really. So, long story short, Robert Rodriguez is a big inspiration of mine. So I was all in when I heard about Brass Knuckle Films, and was stoked to hear about the Best Idea Wins contest because I submitted Mango Dead Serious for it. Mango Dead Serious is a feature-length audio drama, and they're looking for idea. So a little bit about the contest. Best Idea Wins. You can submit an idea for an action movie, and they're going to go through it with them and their team. And if it wins, you get to produce a video, or I don't know how much. I don't know if you're going to produce it with them, but your idea could be turned into a film through the Brass Knuckle Films label. So I think that's so cool. Really just a fun concept. And so, of course, I submitted Mango Dead Serious, the idea, as my entry. Mango Dead Serious is very action forward. Of course, it's got the zombie kind of genre tied to it. So I'm not sure if it's exactly what they're looking for, because I think they're looking for like just straight up action. The references they gave were Die Hard and John Wick. Even though I do feel like Mango, the character, has a little John Wick in him, a little Wolverine. So I feel like when I think of Johnny Mango, I think of those two characters, John Wick and Wolverine. There's a lot of other inspirations and influences that go into his character, but particularly with the voice and how he talks, like John Wick and Wolverine, that's who I think about. Time is clicking. 7 minutes already. So this is hard. I don't know if I'm going to make it this time, but we're going to keep working on it. So, very excited to have submitted to that. Now, even if they don't look at it or it doesn't win or anything, I found this to be a very valuable experience, because in the submission form, I had to basically describe Mango and the idea, and a little bit different maybe in my situation. I'm not sure what other people are working with. They're probably submitting just ideas. Like, this is already completed. So it was fun to kind of like break it apart. They asked for the movie title name, a log line, main characters, adversary character descriptions, act 1, act 2, act 3. You had to write a 50-word character arc. And then there was a bit at the end about how is this unique and what's the marketing angle, which was fun for me, that section, because I'm like, this is an already completed audio drama and it is primed to be possibly a comic book or an animated movie, or even better, a live action film. So I think the strength for me with this entry is kind of the world that is being built, especially even with all this behind the scenes stuff. There is a kind of a tapping a potential wider audience with what we're doing here at H90. But it just was fun to like submit it and just see it written out. And this is the first time I've done something like this. So even if I don't win, which is a huge long shot, I still have this package now that I can use as kind of like a pitch deck when I eventually start a campaign to get this in front of publishers and podcasters, which I haven't done yet. That's going to happen after Mango 2. I now have this like tight package that I can share with people. And so it was a really great exercise. I'm glad I did it. And good luck to everyone else if you've submitted. What a fun project to be a part of. I can't wait to see who wins and just follow along as they go, start from scratch and make this movie, which is like, again, very H90. And I hope you can see the connections here. I just love this whole concept. And thanks to Robert Rodriguez and your team for doing something like this for a indie kind of DIY creator like me, who's been significantly influenced by your style. It is a just really big thrill. So thank you very much. It's already 10 minutes. I'm definitely going to go over, but this is a good exercise. So that's Mango 1. I'm going to talk real quick about Mango 2. Very exciting news. the sound design process has begun, like the actual sound design process. If you've been following along, you'll know that the sound design process has started, but it's merely just been pulling sound effects in, shopping for sound effects, just gathering, wrangling sound effects. And I got up to 26 out of 56 scenes, if I'm remembering that correctly. So almost halfway through, I made the decision, instead of continuing on and finding all the sound effects for the rest of the rest of the scenes, oh God, math is going to kill me here. 30 to 56. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this to myself? Because I'm an idiot. 56 minus 26, 30 scenes. The rest of the 30 scenes, instead of going and finding all the sound effects for those scenes, I went back to scene 1 and started sound designing. And I started throwing sound effects in and laying ambient sounds and wall sounds and music underneath the dialogue that I've already kind of pieced together. And my God, I forgot how fun this is. It's like, it's coming to life, and it's working in a lot of ways. I'm going to talk real quick about how it's not working, which is going to be my next update, but just let's stick with the positives right now. It's so fun. It's just to hear it coming to life and to hear things working that you weren't sure about is a thrill. So as of this morning, I got through scene 4 in terms of laying in sound effects and building the soundscape, the world. But this is just like a first pass. My first pass here is basically just to understand if the scene is working or not. I'm putting in just enough sound effects, music, ambient sounds, walla, whatever is needed, just to the minimum amount to know that it works. Because the plan is to do that for the whole thing. Then I have to go do pickups, which is leading into my next update here on Mango 2. Is I have kind of preemptively scheduled recording sessions at the end of this kind of rough sound effects pass. And that's to pick up what we didn't get, but also pick up stuff that wasn't working. And a lot of the times I will be able to determine that after I lay in the sound effects to see if everything's working together. And a big result from that is learning and feeling and knowing that I have to rewrite scene 1. So that's my next big update at the 12-minute mark, almost 13 minutes. We're going to do it under 15 minutes. Geez, I'm never going to be able to do these under 10 minutes, but that's going to be the goal. I totally forgot what I was going to say. Mango 2, rewriting scene 1. So I am going to be rewriting scene 1. I was laying in the sound effects and it just wasn't working the way I thought it was going to work. And it's not all because of the sound effects. I just made the realization that the scene could be so much stronger if I wrote it a different way. And I actually already wrote it because the ideas were flowing. I'm like, oh, no, it has to be this way. It has to be this way. But hearing it with the sound effects brought that to light. And that is something I do love about audio dramas, is that, you know, we can just go record it again. No big deal. I do have to schedule the actor. I do have to book the studio, but this is already something I was going to do anyway. And I'm not by any means leaning on that as a strategy to make this thing. I don't want that to happen, but if it does, it's not as big of a deal as if you had to go, shoot something live action. So, going to rewrite scene 1. It's going to be so much stronger, but very excited about that. It's 14 minutes. We're going to do this under 15. The last little note I wanted to share is that the poster for Mango 2 is really coming along. It's getting there. I'm actually kind of just in the phase where I'm just looking at it every day. I'm like, is this working? Okay, I think it's working. And that's kind of my process until I look at it and I'm like, okay, there's nothing wrong with it. So that is going to be dropping in July, which will include the title, which will unlock a whole new kind of bunch of information I can share about Mango 2, including, we've already talked about the cast, but like what their roles are. And I'm excited about it. So a lot to come, 14 minutes and 40 seconds. I can do better next time, but appreciate you following along. There is so much to come, and I will be back with another update in 2 weeks. Have a good one. Stay safe, stay tuned, and thanks for watching.